Hello everyone and welcome to the 19th Annual Dan Hasting Memorial Greater Middlesex Conference Sportsmanship Awards. I'm Home News Tribune sports writer Greg Tafaro. Traditionally, this outstanding event is held here at the Pines Manor in Edison. Obviously, with the world in the midst of a pandemic, conference officials had to cancel the annual luncheon. In its stead, we are gathering virtually to celebrate 65 student-athletes who respect the game and their peers. Joining us today are Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, who will deliver a keynote address, and Senator Patrick J. Diegnan, Jr., who will conclude our video presentation with closing remarks. In between, we'll introduce each of the GMC Sportsmanship Award recipients. I respectfully ask that we now take a moment of silence for all those COVID-19 has impacted, and that in so doing we also keep everyone battling the insidious coronavirus on the front lines in our thoughts and prayers. I'd like to turn the program over now to our host for today's virtual awards ceremony, Spotswood High School alumnus and Rutgers University graduate Mike Pavlichko, whom many of you know as the longtime radio voice of Scholastic Sports on WCTC 1450 AM.
Thanks, Greg. As you know, I've hosted the GMC Sportsmanship Awards many times over the years, but this is the first time I've done this in a virtual setting. In fact, maybe I'm here, maybe I'm not.
The Sportsmanship Awards namesake, Dan Hasting, coached boys soccer for 22 years and taught physical education for 3 decades at East Brunswick High School, where he compiled a 358, 91, and 24 mark and won a league record 10 conference tournament championships. The Hall of Fame coach passed away in 2006 at the age of 56. Let's meet Dan's son, Chris, a South Brunswick High School math teacher and boys soccer coach. Chris has honored his father's name well, blossoming into a highly respected educator and mentor.
Hi, my name is Chris Hasting. I'm the boys varsity soccer coach at South Brunswick High School, and I'm also the son of Dan Hasting, the longtime East Brunswick soccer coach who coached in the GMC for 22 years, and unfortunately we lost him back in 2006. But the GMC was gracious enough to name the sportsmanship banquet after him, something that me and my family are very appreciative of and are absolutely thrilled that for the last 14 years his memory has been kept alive by the leadership in the GMC, and we can't be grateful enough for that fact. My father, while being a very successful soccer coach, sportsmanship was always at the forefront of what he was doing. It was very important to him that his teams won and lost the correct way, and that they respected the game, each other, and their opponents. And this banquet is a great way to celebrate what my dad really believed in. I know he'd be very proud of all the recipients and would be absolutely thrilled to know that this banquet is what is keeping his memory alive. So from the Hasting family, I would like to congratulate all the award recipients. I know you're very deserving, and thank you very much for being a great example and representing what is right about high school athletics. Thank you.
Now here to deliver our keynote address is Craig Coughlin, Speaker of the New Jersey General Assembly. Assembly Speaker Coughlin is no stranger to scholastic sports. He has spent the last 2 decades moonlighting as a play-by-play announcer for Woodbridge TV Channel 35, calling games for the township's 3 high schools, alongside Woodbridge Mayor John McCormick. We are honored that Assembly Speaker Coughlin could join us today.
Thank you, Mike, and hello to everyone watching. I really wish we could all be together today in the same room for this celebration, but we know that our health must come first. So just like in sports, we have to adapt when the play that's called isn't working out. I'd like to start by first congratulating all 65 student athletes being honored here today. I know you're deserving of the awards you're receiving. And I know you're being honored today not only because of the way you've carried yourself on the field, but also in the classroom. You are leaders, by example, and role models in our community. It reminds me of a quote from the legendary UCLA basketball coach John Wooden that I know applies to each of you. Sports do not build character, they reveal it. I love sports, and all that sports teaches us about teamwork, dedication, hard work, building a competitive spirit, and of course, sportsmanship. Now, do you know the actual definition of sportsmanship? I looked it up. The definition is fair and generous behavior or treatment of others, especially in a sports competition. That definition, I'm sure, is also a description of the winners being honored here today. Now, as Mike mentioned, Woodbridge Mayor John McCormick and I have been doing high school sports play-by-play for more than 2 decades on local TV. We love it so much, I've often said that I'd pay for the privilege of doing it. It is great fun. And in some ways, a dream come true, because when it became clear I wasn't going to be a professional athlete at a very young age, I thought about doing play-by-play for a living. But instead, I went into law and the world of politics. I'm not always sure that was the best decision. But I know the best part of doing sports play-by-play for me is that I get to watch all of you develop over the course of your high school careers. For many of today's honorees, I've seen you mature as players and as people. For the spring athletes out there, especially the seniors, who had your season canceled, I feel sorry for you. I hope that you get to compete at the college level. This Sportsmanship Award is proof to me that your good character and work ethic will allow you to excel in the next chapter of your life. I also want to thank the 34 GMC schools, coaches, and athletic directors who have started a food collection initiative for Middlesex County families to support McFoods. Food insecurity is a major priority of mine, so I'm very proud and thankful of your efforts in helping local food banks. Thank you also for inviting me to be part of this celebrations, and congratulations again to all of you deserving honorees. Best of luck in everything you do in the future.
Without further ado, it's time to meet our Greater Middlesex Conference Sportsmanship Award honorees. From Calvary Christian, Alex Merks and Alyssa Paulson. From Carteret, Michael Gerzinski and Brenda Guzman. From Colonia, Mark Nicolin and Tiffany Roland Lucas. From Dunellen, John Cianello and Aaron Barnett. From East Brunswick, Jonathan Benowitz and Alina Negron. From East Brunswick Tech, Brendan Bukowski and Kelly Jameson. From Edison, Malachi White and Casey Coletto. From Edison Academy, Joseph Finnegan. From Highland Park, Owen Montero Reyes and Linda Wang. From John F. Kennedy, Lucas Teeple and Jennifer Jara. From J.P. Stevens, Brian McAdams and Shreya Patel. From Metuchen, Elijah Irvin and Ariel Benderly. From Middlesex, Jared Craig and Juliana Kravanka. From Monroe, Robert Hunter and Samantha Corella. From Mother Seton, Alyssa Janowski. From New Brunswick, Oscar Pacheco and Zalma Herrera. From North Brunswick, Justin Fisher and Zania Boykins. From Old Bridge, Samuel Camara and Lauren Farkas. From Perth Amboy, Rafael Hernandez and Jacqueline Zaniga. From Perth Amboy Tech, Oscar Correa and Brittany Trigueros Ordonez. From Piscataway, Stephen Hernandez and Dana Ogilvie. From Piscataway Tech, Ariel Delgado and Tamia Lane. From St. Joseph, Eric Freda. From St. Thomas Aquinas, Sean O'Leary and Eleni Alvarez. From Sayreville, Dylan Clarigo and Geneva Holland. From South Amboy, Brian Pena and Selena Maisonette. From South Brunswick, Akil Edkar and Jillian Ryan. From South Plainfield, Joseph Walker and Jordan Lovett. From South River, Stephen Rodriguez and Kayla Smith. From Spotswood, John Welsh and Jacqueline Gialanella. From Timothy Christian, Sarah Collier and Liam Page. From Wardlaw Hartridge, AJ Massaro and Brianna Chambers. From Woodbridge, Marcos Piastre and Brielle Skibar. And from Woodbridge Academy, Darshan Patel and Sarah Palladino. Your 2020 GMC Sportsmanship Award winners.
Hello, I'm Frank Knoppenberger, Executive Director of the Greater Middlesex Conference. Athletes, congratulations on this prestigious honor. It's one that I consider an everlasting award because it reveals your character and personality. Over the years, your athletic abilities may diminish, but your personality and the reason for getting this award will always be with you. With that being said, I'd also like to extend my congratulations to your families, your coaches, and the athletic directors for the influence they provided to you during your career. Soon, we will be contacting your athletic directors about when you'll be receiving these awards. Hopefully, it'll be around May 15th. Finally, please remember, smiles are contagious. Pay it forward with your people skills, and remember to be safe.
Now it's time to unveil our Greater Middlesex Conference Sportsmanship Division Award winners. From the Red Division, the Bears of East Brunswick High School. Athletics Director, Chris Yanazzo. From the White Division, the Patriots of Colonia High School. Athletics Director, Ben LaSala. From the Blue Division, the Blue Jays of Middlesex High School. Athletics Director, Mike O'Donnell. And from the Gold Division, the Tigers of East Brunswick Tech. Athletics Director, Mike Peedy.
Closing out our 19th annual Dan Hasting Memorial GMC Sportsmanship Awards ceremony is Senator Patrick J. Diegnan, Jr. A member of the South Plainfield High School Hall of Fame, Senator Diegnan is a staunch supporter of scholastic sports statewide. His legislative district includes East Brunswick, Edison, Helmetta, Highland Park, Metuchen, South River, and his native South Plainfield. We're grateful that Senator Diegnan could support our honorees today.
Now we come to the end of our first and hopefully last virtual celebration of the Middlesex Conference Sportsmanship Awards. I know our 65 student athletes and their families must be disappointed that we had to do this virtually. But hey, look at the bright side. You will be able to show this to your children and your grandchildren. It is a permanent record of your outstanding achievement. I know I speak for your parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, coaches, teachers, and all of those who love and admire you when we say we are proud of you. You received this recognition the old-fashioned way. You earned it by practicing thousands of hours from when you were a child, listening to your parents, coaches, teachers, and mentors, working with your teammates to earn their respect and also the respect of those that tried to beat you in the games. But tonight is only the beginning. Your whole future lies ahead of you. Use this award as a jumping off point. Follow your dreams. Never sell yourself short. Do you remember Bo Jackson? He was a professional baseball and football player whose career was cut short with a hip injury. Well, I love Bo's quote. He said, "Set your goals high and don't stop until you get there. May God bless and protect all of your families in these scary times, but don't stress out. We'll be back to normal soon, and you will be able to accomplish what you set your mind to do, maybe even win more awards. Good night, God bless, and be safe."
The adage with which you are all familiar, it's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game, originated more than a century ago from the pen of legendary sports writer Grantland Rice, whose famous poem Alumnus Football contains the following stanza. For when the one great scorer comes to mark against your name, he writes not that you won or lost, but how you played the game. Grantland Rice's words are a metaphor for how we are judged in life. The one great scorer, of course, referring to God. But they also epitomize the very reason you are here today, for we are not acknowledging any team championships or individual titles, but celebrating something far greater that is rarely recognized. I write hundreds of stories during the course of an academic year. Few of them, unfortunately, chronicle your acts of sportsmanship because readers, quite frankly, are more concerned with your athletic prowess than your ladylike or gentlemanly conduct on the playing field. Sometimes those acts are subtle, like a softball catcher picking a bat off the ground and handing it to an opposing hitter upon her return to the batter's box after sprinting down the first baseline on a foul ball. Or like a crestfallen wrestler who just suffered a career-ending loss in the region consolation final, hugging an opponent who simultaneously punched his own ticket to Atlantic City. Or like a basketball player extending a hand to pull an opponent off the court who just took a charge that was so hard it left an imprint of the baseline on his back. You've all heard of the Cy Young Award, the Stanley Cup, the Lombardi Trophy, the Heisman Trophy, and the Ryder Cup. But how many of you are familiar with the Bob Frederick Award, the Art Rooney Award, the Roberto Clemente Award, the Kim Perrott Award, or the Lady Byng Trophy? All five of the aforementioned are presented, respectively, by the NCAA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the WNBA, and the NHL for sportsmanship. Your lack of familiarity with those awards compared to the others reflects the amount of attention athletes receive for winning individual and team honors in comparison to how they played the game. Even the great Grantland Rice spent more time documenting on-field heroics in the early 20th century than he did penning poetic verse about player conduct. So you see, while the world around us has changed dramatically over the last 100 years, the one constant in athletics is that acts of sportsmanship have forever been underpublicized. Despite the added pressure of being held to a higher standard as a student athlete, you have conducted yourself with grace. You have set an example for your teammates and your opponents. You are a credit to your athletic programs and your schools. You are a reflection of your parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators who have molded you to respect the game, its rules, and its players. You are role models for youngsters, and for that, I thank you. I wish you the best in your future endeavors and hope that your legacy resonates with the conference's underclassmen. I leave you with these words, a twist on that renowned stanza from the great Grantland Rice. For when the local sports writer came to speak of your good name, he cared not on this day whether you won or lost, just how you played the game.